Hello everyone, GM. Welcome to the Changelog this week. I'm Nick from the Solana Foundation Developer Relations team, and today I've got Jonas here with me. How you doing, Jonas?
I'm doing great. Thanks. Let's get started.
Let's do it. I mean, the talk of the town. The Renaissance Hackathon, of course. The Renaissance Hackathon put on by the folks over at Coliseum. It's the new edition of the Solana Global Hackathon starting right now. It actually started a couple of days ago. It started on March 4th and goes for about 30 days, give or take. And, you know, typical amazing Solana Global Hackathon, fully online, but with a twist this time. The folks over at Coliseum are now handling all Solana Global Hackathons. And with that, there's not only the typical hackathon that Solana Foundation has run in the past, where you get like a bunch of tracks, different topics, but also the winners of the hackathon will be eligible to participate in, be eligible to be invited into Coliseum's accelerator program. So think of it like YC, Y Combinator for the Solana ecosystem. This is going to be super cool to see what happens.
Yeah, I can't wait for this to start and see all the cool projects. And there's so much money into it, so many prizes. And there's even like the super team has like a bunch of side tracks.
They do.
So you can see like there's one from Drip, there's one from Wormhole.
Love Drip.
All the super, me too. Super Team Germany does something, Neodime, Bonk. So tons of cool prizes. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you're building. Then let's look at some commits, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the first thing is that they bumped the platform tools. So you can see that the Solana Labs repository is now moving over to Agave. We're going to talk about this later. And they updated the platform tools to 141. And this also comes with a Rust bump version. It's like 1.75 now. So that's just a small detail. And then they have this nice commit here, which gives 8 bytes back to the stack buffer account when data hashing. So for some while now, they are actually not using the slot anymore for the hash of the accounts. So now they can take these 8 bytes and give them back to the account data, actually. And I always find these things on the changes on the accounts DB super exciting, because some of you may know that there's like the normal accounts on Solana are 128 bytes. And we can see that we have, I just followed the link here to the next issue, and we can see that we have 431 million accounts currently, and 388 million of these accounts are actually token accounts. So 90% of all accounts on Solana are actually token accounts. And then, of course, like if you have these impacts that of 8 bytes, this changes a lot. And they are now increasing the stack buffer that they use for these accounts to create the hashes to 200 bytes, because many of the token accounts might now become bigger when we use token 22 accounts. So yeah, it's just very exciting to read that stuff. So if you want to look into that, do that here. And yeah.
Yeah. And you know what else is exciting? Agave and Anza. So we're going to talk about a couple of these commits and then kind of talk about what Anza is. There was a big press release recently. And so to note, there's this PR on the Solana Labs validator client repo that adds a GitHub action that's actually just going to auto close new pull requests to the previous Solana validator client repo. And that's because Anza is fully taking over the fork. They fork the Solana Labs client and they're fully taking over the code base. All the core protocol engineers, they all basically formed a new company, and that's called Anza. And it's the same devs that you know and love. You've got the amazing people like Will Hickey, you can see here on the PR, Tierra, Trent, you know, all these amazing people and amazing devs. All of the core protocol engineers, and Yihao as well, the core protocol engineers actually just started a new company called Anza. So if you're going to open a new PR, you need to make sure that, or an issue for that matter, open it on the Anza forked repo. And it's actually going to be called Agave. You can see it here on the screen. We'll have the link for this in the changelog notes as well. But basically what happened is the core protocol engineers for the Solana validator client used to work at Solana Labs. They formed a new company called Anza, and they're going to start maintaining the code base for the Solana validator client, and they're going to call that Agave. So it's going to be called the Agave clients. And the process for everything is largely going to be the same. It's just, effectively think of it just like a name change for most people. That's all it is. But they're still shipping away. This is one of the PRs that were merged recently into the Anza client, the Agave client, and they're actually deprecating the get stake activation RPC method. So you can see here, it's kind of like this transition period between Agave and the Solana Labs client. And so the get stake activation RPC method is being deprecated. And basically there was some inefficiencies in how the stake was actually pulled. And this just removes that.
Yeah, nice. And there's also, they are working on a bunch of issues now that actually Jacob created as well, some of them. So they're trying to now, like while they're currently going from one company to another, so they can now have some time to fix things. And so, for example, we have the test validator should now work better on Windows. And then a few things like some people had problems deploying recently so that like the block hash would expire because it didn't do enough retries. Mm-hmm. So yeah, these things probably gonna get fixed soon. Here are the first issues on the new repository. So it's very exciting to see that. And one other cool thing that was done by Acheron.
Acheron and Anchor. Oh, wow, this is so good. So Acheron, the creator of Solana Playground, he's also the maintainer of the Anchor framework. This is a massive commit. One commit, massive changes. He's trying to fix all of the issues with Anchor IDLs and creating a more generic IDL spec that any IDL generator can use. And this is a draft PR. It's going to be, the goal is for 0.30.0 for Anchor. And this fixes like 30 open issues for IDLs within Anchor. And there's a whole bunch of detail within this fix IDL PR that details why some of those decisions were made, of how the changes are going to, affect everything downstream. And yeah, take a read on this. And if you have any thoughts on the IDL spec or anything IDL related, there's been a bunch of conversations on this PR itself. So feel free to post a comment on it and continue the conversation.
Yeah, I love this. I'm a big IDL fan. I love the idea that you just put basically an interface of your program on chain and then everyone can just interact with it. And here, like, it solved 47 issues. And you can now add like dependencies to your IDL and all kinds of things. So read through it. I'm very excited for this. It's not merged yet, but it's still a draft, or turned back to a draft, because I think there was some feedback. So this is going to be really cool. And last but not least, let's maybe highlight the newcomers in Stack Exchange that are helping everyone. Stack Exchange. So we have Breeze Wang with another 134 Wiki reputation Black Horse. We have White Seal. We have Avis Akhtar. Solandi is always here, of course, which is very nice. Callum. Yeah, so keep it up. And do you have any last words, Nick?
No, that's pretty much it. Thanks for joining us on the Changelog this week, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.